Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Inven Global Podcast. This is episode 21, and we are joined with a very special guest. We have someone to finally bring some class to this show. Right? It's just me and Eric.
You say that.
Like classless.
God, I'm looking at my hair right now.
podcast.
I just got back from playing tennis, and I'm like sweaty.
Oh, wait, look at this guy. I just got back from playing tennis. Bro, you know where I got back from? The bathroom. Bro, I haven't left my house.
Dude, that's classic. Hey, I ran into the bathroom, like put some water in my hair, and be like, get the sweat off, wash it off a little bit.
It's good.
Yeah.
Man, my hair could use
I
some
look
water.
tired.
This
I'm
thirsty
just gonna
boy.
blame the fact that I'm looking tired on the fact that I broke my nose recently.
All right, so this is the Inven Global Podcast of male body dysmorphia. We talk about all the things we hate about our body and why we're not good looking, and it is all about the male standards of beauty, right, Eric?
You know, it's a podcast, so they don't have to look at
Anyways.
this if they don't want to.
You know what? You're right. There is an audio version of this if you want to see. I guess you can watch the live ones and on YouTube. Anyways, we are here, episode 21. I'm once again joined with Eric Gindele, my co-host. How are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing really well. Sorry, I said it like
Well, you're
that.
talking
I'm doing really
horribly.
well.
Nice, doing well. Me too, man.
Yes.
Got a lot of cool things we're working on at Inven Global. There's a buzz in the room because the LEC is happening again, right? We got
Sure.
esports is happening. We got people talking about esports. I'm happy to see that Valorant's picking up some speed. We also got some really cool moves with Ignition series and Counter-Strike. I'm really glad to see Monte Cristo's up there doing good work. Shout outs to Monte. I hope he can spread some life into that. And, of course, Eric, can you think of any other event that we're busy working on?
The Inven Global Esports Conference 2020, all digital version, baby.
All digital,
let's
all
go.
virtual.
Baby.
Now is here I get with the very, very special effects here. Bam! Look at that switch. So the Inven Global Esports Conference is, it's just my ode to joy. It's my absolute pride. I work on it every year. It's our third year, and we're going to have a stacked lineup. I got D1, a fantastic supporter of IGC and the fighting game community. He's actually going to be on a fighting game panel with me and some other really, really rock star fighting game talent. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And we have tons of other panels. As you've noticed, we've already had panels leading up to this. We've had esports in quarantine when this whole thing started. We got so much going on, and we even have an esports agents and player representation, all sorts of things. Now it's coming back in our live version. So on June 30th and July 1st, you can come to the Inven Global Esports Conference, and there's so many topics. There's so many things we're talking about. And
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out the Eventbrite page. And we're going to be talking about online conferences a little later in the show. So I'm sure we'll touch back on this.
So Dave, have
Yes.
you've been a fan of our conferences before, right?
I've been to one of them before. I was at the I saw Eric there. What was
Yeah.
What was that?
That was like the Arc Revo
Guilty Gear
event.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Our big
That
tournament.
was a lot of fun.
That was awesome too.
Yeah, that
it
was
was
cool.
in the same venue, so it totally makes sense. So anyways,
Yeah.
with that being said, we are very excited to dive into today's topics. But first, before that, Dave, why don't you just give our listeners, because by the way,
I will give it all.
we all love Dave, all right? We absolutely love Dave. This is why we brought Dave in. To be honest, this is like a day off for me and Eric. When we bring Dave in, we're like, okay, we just get to hang out with Dave for a bit. So, David, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners? What's going on?
Sure. So I am Dave, and that's all you need to know. So I have a YouTube channel, Dave Control, where I do like comedic gaming retrospectives, and I got known for like Dark Souls lore. I work for GameSpot Universe, which is a branch of GameSpot, and I used to do hosting for a number of networks. Arcade Cloud, Nerdwire, Machinima, I don't know. It's a lot. Whatever.
There
you go.
It's a
I've
lot.
done a lot.
You've been doing this for some time, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
And you know what? That is what I mean by really cleaning up this joint, all right? Because what am I if not just a Dave Klein? This is what Eric says to me all the time.
All the time, yeah.
I don't know, man. You got
It's in my
like
email,
5
pretty
times
sure.
the amount of hair as me, so I feel like that's like an upgrade, you know?
You know what? I take it. Oh, don't mean to play that. I'll take it. I'm not usually the one to accept compliments about my hair because of just a deep deep self-loathing, that type of thing. But I am happy to hear that. So what we do to usually start this podcast off is we talk about the games we've been playing. And Eric is the only true gamer in this podcast. I am the fake gamer. I just work in the space. I have no time to play the games. So I use Eric to get out. So Eric, what have you been playing, man? What are some games?
I just beat Hitman 2, which I had a ton of fun with. I just went back. I got this all-new PC setup. I just got the monitor yesterday, so I've been going through playing the game on like ultra high settings. And
now,
yeah,
why is that
fantastic.
though? Why have you been going back and playing? Because I know why.
It's a good game. I have a lot of fun with it, and it just like never ends. There's so many objectives and stuff.
And you're getting hyped for the new Hitman, right?
And I'm getting hyped for the new Hitman, Hitman 3. Yeah, I kind of popped off a bit during that announcement trailer.
Dude, you have no idea, David. We did like a live commentary thing, and did you know how much Eric is a fanboy for like the Hitman series?
I mean, he was telling me about it before we started. I've never played a Hitman, but I just know how much people love them. So
yeah. Eric loves them.
It's just like I was fresh off of it, and yeah, I'm super into those stealth games. I like all the Splinter Cell games a lot too.
See,
so.
The thing is, I'm a gamer girl, so I don't really know that much about games. I know what people tell me.
I mean, that makes sense. You know what? It's cool that you identify with that. How long have you been a gamer girl?
Oh, my whole life. I mean, always been a gamer girl.
You know what? I as now a fake gamer boy, which I definitely am, I agree and I approve of that statement. So I guess what have I been playing, right? I have been playing a lot of Warcraft Classic. It's the same things every time. See, this is why I'm a fake gamer. I play Street Fighter Third Strike. I love
Warcraft Classic, man.
Yes,
I replay that.
I play Warcraft 3. I guess if we're talking about new games, I have been playing a lot of Exo Heroes. So Exo Heroes is a gacha game by Line Games. And, listen, it first started as something I just needed to get good at for work. I just needed to understand the gacha game genre. Because if you look at the mobile game usage, it's exploding, right? It's all doing really positive
gacha games are?
Yes, man. Gacha games. They are the future, man. The absolute future.
No, they aren't. Don't say that.
So here's the thing, right?
Gotcha.
I'm playing these games, and you know what? Like, this game's actually beautiful. Like, it's really well made. It's a really well made game. I'm actually very impressed at how much like RPG depth is in this game, and I could just imagine all of the kids. So I play these games free to play.
I'm totally gonna play it at some point.
So
100%.
I play these games free to play, so I don't necessarily suggest being the whale. I think that's a bad way to play games. Personally, I don't have the money to do that.
No. If I get a free to play game, I promise myself I won't spend a cent on it.
Yeah, right.
I will never give them any money.
That's part of the fun, because it's like we used to pay $59.99 for a brand new game.
Yeah, it's part of the fun until you're like grinding for 20 hours for a new skin, and you're like, man, why am I doing this?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm still in that Brawl Stars world. I spent $2 on the battle pass, and
That's
I felt so dirty.
So
I just had to go stand in the shower.
Why is it
for like an hour?
Why is it that gamers like of our type have such a hard time?
Well, like, okay, so I'm playing Game Pigeon on my phone with one of my friends, and it's just like little word games and stuff, like Word Hunt and stuff.
Okay.
And like, for spending $5, you get like a bunch of new variations of all these little things. It's almost like the Nintendo Switch game that just came out.
Yeah.
It's like that, but on your phone.
Clubhouse games.
It's like Clubhouse games, but on your phone, except it's free to play. There's no ads. It's just for more stuff. You spend $5. So after a while of playing with her, I was like, you know what? We play it all the time. I'll spend the $5. It's fine. Yeah. And I don't feel bad about it. I feel like, you know what? They gave me enough entertainment. It's cool.
Yeah, it gets to a point where you're like, I just want to support the developer.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
That's kind of what my mentality with Persona 5 Royal was. Like, I got a lot of shit from one of my friends. It was like, so it's just like they added like a new chapter to the like very, very end of the game. You're like, yeah. And you're going to pay like, what, $80 for this special edition? You're like, yeah. You're like, but it's the same game. It's just...
But I want them to succeed. Yeah.
And I want more Persona stuff to come out. Like, we're still waiting for Persona Scramble to be localized. Yeah. Like, if they need like a show of support,
you're so right.
I'm there.
I mean, honestly, a big part of why I don't really do much down downloadable content is because all my games that I love, that truly are like the maximum love for me, they have no chance of being made into anything that would resemble a AAA game right now. I was hoping during the PS5 reveal I would get something to do with Breath of Fire or Suikoden or Front Mission or just all of my favorite, classic RPGs. That was really what made me fall in love with games. But it's just, I still have the Secret of Mana game.
Got those.
Yeah. So there's like Trials of Mana, which is fantastic. I'm actually playing. You know what? Now that I think about it, I am dabbling a bit with Breath of Fire 2 on the Switch. They have the free. Yeah, they have the free emulator for the
Breath
Super
of Fire
Nintendo.
2 is good.
It is good. It's good.
It's on the free emulator. They put Breath of Fire 2 on it.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Cool.
I've been playing that, having my little retro throwback. But if there was like, hey, listen, we're thinking about making a Breath of Fire 3, remastered, I'd pre-order that, and I'd also pay $30 for the T-shirt, and I would definitely support it because I want it to exist. So that makes sense.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, exactly. What have you been playing, Dave?
Dave, what about you?
So, I have been. I'm still playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, I don't like it. It's not fun anymore. It was fun for like the first couple weeks, and now it's just like it became chores.
Yeah.
It's like I wake up.
I'm like one stage past you now, where it was like, all right, now I'm just going in to get my fossils and check the shop, and now I'm past like not even.
Right. Well, that's what it's like. Keeps on like slowly degrading. It used to be like, let me run around to get all the fossils. I've finally finished the museum for fossils. Yeah. So now I wake up, I go to the shop because I made enough money off of turnips. I go to the shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, is there anything new in the shop? No. Yes. Buy the new things. Then I turn off the game.
Really?
But I'm still doing it, and I don't have fun doing it. It's just like a chore, and I'm like.
David,
yeah,
you need to come.
One day you'll just forget to do it, and that'll be
over 100 hours into this game, and I'm like, I have Trials of Mana sitting right there, and I know that's a game I would love. Secret of Mana is one of my favorite games of all time.
Dude, me too. I love Secret of Mana.
Nice. So yeah, like I tried playing Secret of Mana 2 or whatever, Seiken Densetsu 3 on an emulator that wasn't translated, so I never got very far.
It's not very good when you can't read it. Yeah.
Right, so I had Seiken Densetsu 3 though for my Super Famicom just because I'm such a big Secret of Mana fan.
Amazing gem, by the way. Cool collector's item there.
I finally got Trials of Mana. Yeah. I have it sitting there, and I broke my nose a few weeks ago, and this was what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to treat myself to Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
And I keep on fucking playing Animal Crossing, and I hate it. And I'm not even having fun.
No.
And it's just like, man, why don't I play the thing that I would get a lot more out of?
Because Animal Crossing is the comfort game of these hard times. Like it is the warm shoulder for gamers to cry on, and we've been crying on it. I'm the same way, bro. I play Animal Crossing.
It's just like my chore mentality, because like this is why I'm good about working out. I'm good about getting work done when I have it to do, because I put myself in like a routine. That's what it is. I'm good about a routine. If I have a routine, I do it, and it's just become part of my routine. But like I don't want it as part of my routine anymore, so I've been slowly getting out of it.
I need a routine, bro. I need a routine.
So, yeah,
and it's a little more manageable than like what like an MMO like daily routine would entail too. I mean, Animal Crossing, like how much time do you really spend like getting the fossils and visiting the shop? Like 30 minutes maybe.
Right, but I mean that was still 30 minutes that could have been like playing Trials of Mana or like I don't know.
See, the thing is, and his problem is the same as mine. If he would just give Trials of Mana 30 minutes, he'd be hooked. He'd be in the Zen gaming zone, and he'd be playing it, and he'd be loving it.
That's exactly the problem, is that for me, the older I get, the harder it is for me to start a new game. Just because, I don't know, it's like this weird block. But then when I start it, like, I am hooked. Like, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I bought it, and it took me like a day to finally start it, and then I was just like, oh my god, I love this. I love this so much. And like, that's actually, I'm working on a video on it right now, and that's my like next video. So I've been playing doing a lot of stuff with FF7 Remake.
Yeah.
But like, man, like it's funny that like it takes me a while to start, but then when I'm in it, I am in it.
I know why, or I have a theory why, and it's why I'm like relating so much with what you're saying. When I start playing a game, it is inherently tied to work as a content creator. The moment I start playing a game, I have to think, well, how am I going to make content about it? How am I going to make strategy about it? That means I have to be the best at it. That means I have to at least talk to the people who are the best at it, right? Like, I'm in this entire mentality. So it makes it so I don't want to play a new game because it's just taking away from work. And for the past 7-8 years, I've been so career focused. It is hard for me. Like, I have been playing Street Fighter Third Strike religiously because I'm very lucky that that's currently tied to something to do with my career. Being good at Street Fighter Third Strike is something that really is helping me. So it's like, Nick, I could have played Third Strike any number of times and I would have had so much fun with it because it's one of my favorite games of all time. But I needed it to be like connected to some career. I'd be curious if you guys have experienced the same thing.
I think, well, go ahead first, Eric. I've been talking.
No, go for it, Dave.
I think for me, it's like a double thing. So part of it can be the career thing. For example, I've been playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and I loved the Blind Forest. But I'm doing a Let's Play of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and like every time I go back to it, it's like, man, but then I have to like set up my mic, and like even while I'm playing it, I'm having fun, even though I'm doing a Let's Play. But it's still just the setup of it is like, it's like enough of a hassle for me to be like, do I don't feel like, am I in the mood for that? But then on the other end, I honestly think it's just like I'm so busy with work stuff. I'm so busy just in general, and I exercise a lot. And sometimes when I go to relax, even with like, I've loved video games my whole life. There's just a point of like, do I want to put in the work of discovering a new world and discovering the rules of something new? Whereas like going back and playing an old game for me can be much more fun just for the fact that like, I already know it. I know the rules of the game. I know how to play it. It's like, I think it's just old man syndrome.
You're blowing my mind because, yes, I have the same exact... I actually am described this week playing WoW Classic, a PvP, for me, is like jumping in a lazy river. I know all of the rote memorization of the movements. I used to play WoW Classic PvP at a very competitive level. So for me, when I play that game, I'm watching a movie... I'm doing something else. It is truly the only way I can relax when I'm in a battleground. And it's got to be tied to that moment in which gaming to you was pure zen. It was connected with all of your ambitions to be good, all of your ambitions to learn and grow. You know, it was when I was a teenager. That's why I have the esports career I do, is because in that zen state, all of my ambition was focused towards working in it. So I'm also the same way with movies. Haven't you ever, like, there's a great film you want to watch, but it's like, it's too intense. I'm going to get into it.
I was going to say the same thing. Movies are the same way for me now.
Yeah, I'm way worse with that stuff with movies than games. And I think a lot of it is like, I love filling out my lists, you know me, and my list and stuff. So just kind of like, being able to put a game on that's like, currently playing through it, knowing that I can eventually like give it a score and then put it on my game log and then put it into like top games of the year and like categorize it by that. It's like a big driving force for me, and I just get like a ton of satisfaction.
By the way, Dave, help me. I have been clamoring for Eric to make content based on these lists. On our site.
Eric, you should, man. I mean, seriously, you're so into it, and people would dig it.
Yes,
you know what you're talking about.
Why aren't you making lists? People would dig it. Thank you. Eric has strong opinions backed up by like tons of playtime on each of these games.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is that you know what you're talking about.
They're very, very strong reviews, and in today's gaming resale market, bro, there's still people who are looking up, should I buy this game from 2018? You just put that on our site. You fill that with some Amazon affiliate links, my bro.
I've got like just game reviews that I just do for me that are just like sitting around. So, like I have one for.
Why don't you put that somewhere,
David? Why don't you put it on our video game site that nets millions of viewers every month?
I have one for FF7 Remake.
I'm so upset.
Crosscode Doom,
I'm so upset.
Ori.
When I finish my FF7 Remake video, I want to read your review because I don't want it to influence me. But like after I'm done.
No, I was just thinking like, I watched this great like Final Fantasy VII review that I should send to you, but like just thinking about that, like I wouldn't want like those opinions to kind of like taint, you know, what I already had going on. So
like if I make a video on something, I'm super like strict about. I don't want to watch any other content about it because I don't want it to influence me.
I'm the same way.
I don't want anyone. It's more. I just don't want someone to like accuse me of copying somebody.
Exactly. I'm the same way with my reviews. I'll just like get all my opinions up on paper, and then I'll read through a couple of reviews and be like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. That was really good. Or, oh yeah, I didn't really think about that. That was really bad. And then I'll start like kind of incorporating that in. But yeah, I totally understand.
So,
and by the way, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is my top game for 2020 so far. Yeah, 100%.
Over FF7 Remake.
Over FF7 Remake, yeah. I'm just like a sucker for those Metroidvania games, and
I
Ori
like it
had-
a lot, but so far I feel like I thought the Blind Forest was better. I think I like the Blind Forest more.
I was hearing that from a lot of people for sure.
I think there's a new. Maybe I'm wrong, and I haven't played Blind Forest in enough of the time. But I feel like Blind Forest was more exploration, platforming based, and this one has a lot more combat. And I'm not as big on the combat.
I love Hollow Knight, and
I do too.
They basically just ripped the combat system from Hollow Knight into Ori, so I think it works really well.
you know,
And I think that combat is like totally serviceable. If not, you can exploit it a bit more than you probably should be able to.
I think the
Hollow
combat's
Knight.
fine. I think the combat's fine. I just preferred it when it was more of a pure platformer. For that specifically, Hollow Knight I like more than Ori, honestly. But like Ori and the Blind Forest was like so good.
You know, by the way, I just want to say me and Eric were having this very similar conversation, but it was about the new Ratchet and Clank game, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And it's about I always thought that Ratchet and Clank, I was more of I'm a Mario 64 a purist, because I just think that was the game that hooked me, and Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64 were natural extensions of those games that added more weaponry and more firepower. And then I feel as if Jack and Daxter really did it full force, and they did a split 50-50 between gunplay and platforming. So
I never played Jack and Daxter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jack and Daxter's great.
I meant Ratchet and Clank, but I think Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter are very similar. But like, but to me, I've never played the Ratchet and Clank games because I don't know. In my mind, no, give me a Mario game, let me wall jump.
Yeah.
I just think that's what is fun.
I mean, Donkey Kong 64 is just garbage.
No way, bro.
Dude, you go back and play it. I have so many fond memories of it, and I went back and tried to replay it, and I was like, oh my god.
I said the same exact thing when Nick brought this up last time.
Whoa.
Donkey Kong 64 in like a second.
Oh, wait a minute. I must defend my honor. Guys, you don't realize the speed running community behind Donkey Kong Country for the 64. Like,
I like Country. Okay, look.
No.
Speedrunning fine, but like,
no, sorry, not Donkey Kong
bad design,
Country.
man.
I mean 64. Just Donkey Kong
The
64
fact you have to switch
speedruns.
between 5 different characters for the same area and replay the same thing over and over again.
Certain collectibles
yes,
with certain characters.
that is true, but I feel like I must play a Donkey Kong speedrun. This is the former world record. I'm sorry, I know this is completely.
How long is this going to be? Like a 1-minute speedrun?
No, I just.
It's going to be like the Ocarina of Time speedruns where they just like roll into the river and all of a sudden they're at the end boss at Ganondorf.
Okay. So here we are. All right, here we are. Let's get this big mode. So I just want to let you know that this game is known for its absurd glitches. Like, I mean, insane glitches. This guy beats the game in 27 minutes, and these. Yeah.
Link me the video when we're done. I want to watch it because I love watching glitch
look at that.
runs.
Look at that.
I love watching glitches.
Where is he? What? He's in this weird dark void.
Whoa!
And then what happens? And then all of a sudden he kicks his way into what? I guess he's here now.
It's pretty crazy how
the stream just started. I can't see. Oh, there it goes.
So
that's awesome. I love speedrunners, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like you could definitely see how older games would have these like exploits and people just kind of taking advantage of those and stuff. But you see the same thing in like Mario Odyssey.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Too, or like I guess some of these exploits are just timeless.
Dude, I hate when new games patch glitches like this. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it's insane.
A big part of it.
Because I get that it's breaking the game, but it's also part of the charm of the games to me.
Yeah.
And then it gets to this point in the speedrunning community. It's like, oh, were you even on like version 1.2?
Yeah.
Like, I thought you weren't.
Yeah. So
like, well, I'm playing on like the launch version because you can do this, and without it, like it adds another like 40 seconds or something. It's like, man, dude, what a headache.
So first of all, I just wanted to shout out to Z Nernicus for the video. Nice world record, bro. But I also wanted to agree. There's actually like discussions among the speedrun community about like, are we harming ourselves by not speedrunning the new games because they're so well made that it's harder to speedrun them. It's not impossible. Like, for example, some really hardworking guys just recently did another glitch on Wind Waker. You know, it's not a new game, but it was known for being a game with some very well patched walls. Like, there are some skips you cannot do, but they found a way past it. So, like, think about it. Wouldn't it be super hype if we were watching someone like speedrun the new Spider-Man game? Like, wouldn't that put, you know, speedrunning into a huge light? But it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, I was, you know, because I'm known for Dark Souls.
Yep.
Dark Souls speedrunning is really big.
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's speedrunning communities for it. I think part of the issue with newer games is that they're so long.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the speedrunning issue. Because at least for me, I like trying to speedrun, and I want... One of my goals at some point is to become a Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 speedrunner.
Oh,
I really want to try to do this.
Dude, like Caleb.
But...
Do you watch Caleb Hart?
Yeah, but... I don't, but I'll have to.
Yeah.
But like, but for me, like, it's because those games you can do the whole speedrun in an hour.
Yep, you can.
Well, when you get better, faster than that. I can beat the game in an hour right now.
Nice.
But you can speedrun it way faster. So like, the
Right.
point is like, it's not such a time sink. Whereas like a full Dark Souls speedrun takes so much longer, and same for any new game, right?
Especially to get that
So-
good too. Like some of these.
Right.
Oh my god! Like I remember, I think it's the Dark Souls 2 speedrun that requires the Black Halberd drop, or maybe is that the first one? But anyways,
I think the Dark Souls 1 is you need the Black Halberd drop.
and
Yeah,
it's
for the
so
speedrun.
insane because
So yeah, it's also it's the RNG thing.
yeah. So trying to
Speedrun
do
can be
those
screwed if
speedruns,
you don't get that drop.
it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So anyways, wow, that has been a rousing discussion. It all started because I wanted to defend Donkey Kong 64, but those are the games we're playing. Those are the games we're playing. But let's get into our news topics, right? Let's get into to what we're talking about. So first of all, let's get in our first subject, which I believe is, yes, Blizzard removes controversial hero pools from Overwatch's competitive mode. Shoutouts to Kotaku for the story. So, you know, we've talked a lot about Overwatch on this podcast. We've talked a lot about the problems with it. Let me close this. I'm getting some pings. They're saying, no, don't talk about Overwatch. No, but, you know, we've talked a lot about what the game's doing right and what it's doing wrong. And I would just say that you're doing right when you start listening to your fan base and you start listening to your players and you start being okay with making steps that may be considered backwards because this means that your system of hero pools didn't work. But boy, I've known so many Overwatch players that hate this. What do you guys have thoughts on this? Do you think this is a step in the right direction?
It just seemed like such a mess from the get-go. I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't like pull back on this even sooner. Like, I don't know, maybe a pride thing. Like, oh yeah, no, we know it's for the community, but it was also affecting like pro players on like a completely different level where they had to shift like weekly like their strategies for going in. They had to like do all this stuff that was just like such a headache. And you know, burnout is already like a huge problem within the Overwatch League, and you know, this really wasn't helping at all. So yeah, just getting rid of it completely is a good call. But in the pro scene, it's like every 2 weeks now instead of every like 1 week they're going to be banning like select heroes, which still seems
it is.
I
still
think it's
something.
hilarious.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, like, okay, so you're pro, right? And most pros for most games only specialize in one character because it's just, you know, it's like, you know, you're a basketball player. Are you going to be a forward or defense? You know, you're going to have a specialty. But I imagine like a pro player being like, okay, well, I'll make 2 characters then my specialty, and then there's just a random week where they get screwed and both of those characters end up being banned.
Yeah, it's super tough. And that's exactly the situations that have happened. I think part of why the players so unanimously hated this is like, first of all, listen, it's no surprise that there's a lot of cool new FPS games that a lot of this young talent would rather be playing, all right? Maybe new games come out from Riot, or maybe new games, you know, we all know that. We've seen a score of Overwatch League talent leave the league. We've seen Sinatra, their MVP, leave the league. We've seen it just
There's
happens.
a story about that later that I thought was pretty funny.
The commissioner of Overwatch League left and now works for Epic, right? These are just facts. I'm just saying these are the facts that happened. So clearly people weren't happy with how the Overwatch League was going. So can you imagine taking that environment and now it's the hardest esports endeavor you've ever had to do? in order to try to consistently win, you have to literally grind out your skill in all of these heroes constantly. It's hard
It's
work.
like they put oil on the fire.
Yeah. And it's like, where's the motivation? The motivation is there. Like, bro, I could already get more by streaming, and a lot of people have already made that. Like for example, I had a pretty big Twitter rant myself about this. You can check it out at Nick Durazio 3RT on Twitter. But I was trying to make the point that, like, esports as it stands right now is boring as hell, and all of the best, most creative, most clever, most trash talking, entertaining players, they all learned that when they're in the league, you find them thousands of dollars for making a hand gesture. When they're in the league, you literally find them thousands of dollars for doing anything even remotely considering trash talk or anything fun. So they become streamers, and now they're literally outperforming.
They aren't allowed to trash talk in the league?
Dude, it's so... The thing is, here's the thing.
Yeah.
People get fined for bumping into people in the hallway. Or at least that was the big joke, that was the rumor. Like, you know, people were getting fined for ridiculous reasons. And it's because Blizzard felt so much pressure to make this a squeaky clean, because they were trying to do this big leap for esports. They were trying to involve the Koch brothers, you know, selling team franchise. They had, you know, AT&T and Verizon, all these people wanting to be in the league. But they stifled the heart and soul of esports. So
also, you watch any sport. Like, I watch basketball and football, and players trash talk each other all the time. That's part of the fun of it.
Oh my god! Have you guys seen the Michael Jordan documentary?
Yeah, it was so good. I'm from Chicago too.
Yeah, it was so good, man. And
Michael Jordan.
And what
I've
noticed,
the hardest hitting shit talker.
What I've noticed, dude, that guy. Can you imagine if that league was fined for playing and smack talking? You kidding me, dude?
He went the hardest on his teammates.
Yeah,
too,
dude. Because he was aiming for perfection. He really was. So, and you know, I hate that we can't see that, because you know what? We saw shades of it in Jake of the Houston Outlaws. We saw shades of little bratty, a genius boy, being toxic to his teammates. But it's because Jake is legendary. If you push him, the guy's a fantastic, you know, talent. But why would someone like that give his all?
It's like, I like watching Shofu in Smash Brothers, and he like trash talks, and it's fun, man.
Yeah,
it's fun.
So, anyways, why are we talking about all this? Because this means Overwatch players are going to have a little easier time, because it was way too hard. And honestly, when your league's not very fun to play in, the last thing you want to do is make it hard to play in. I think,
I jumped into an Overwatch game this weekend just to play with a couple friends. And I mean, it's like what we've been saying for weeks now. It's like, when you're not taking this game seriously at all, it's a good time.
It's so fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Speaking of,
just like not caring about
I actually, like, the concept itself is a fun concept. I can see where they came up with the idea.
I can definitely see how this was like pitched in their room, oh yeah, you know, like it'll freshen up like the competitive scene with the league, you know, like, oh, what are they going to do this week? Like Hanzo's like banned and stuff, and nobody else is doing it out there. Like, but there's also a reason why nobody else is doing it.
But it's like, I think about, like, so I was really into Clash Royale back in the day, and I would only use the same. In that game, you have towers, and like you can switch it up, but if you lose, your rank goes down, so it's all super stressful, because every game is a rank game. So like, I never really, it was so rare for me to switch up my strategy, because I was so nervous to. I was like, man, like, I'd like to try something different, but if I do, I could get screwed. It's almost like being forced to would have forced me to have more fun in a way. But because I like learning new things, but at the same time, it's like that really should be an option. So like, it's like choosing a random player in any versus fighting game. You know, like, you do it for fun. You don't have to, though.
I think this has always been the issue with Overwatch. Overwatch, at its core, I trust the design sense of Jeff Kaplan. Jeff Kaplan created a game that could be mastered. That's why there's so many different heroes, right? Like, this game is really fun for someone who thinks it's enjoyable to master each hero and each role and just focus on perfection. And that's why the game was designed to switch between heroes, because someone counters your hero, it's fine, you're just as good at Reaper, or now you have to become good at Reaper. So I understand, yes, in that point, these bans were like to try to help out the meta with diversity, to try to help out players get some new blood into it. But why haven't they just had picks and bans yet? Like, why can't they just have picks and bans? Like, every round, the players say, who do we ban, who do we pick? Is that so crazy? Like, isn't that what helps all of the other games?
Yeah, I don't know. Just a side note, this article that you're on right now, the
Oh yes,
Alien
this
Zarya
is
skin,
the league skin.
I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because this is basically like a monument to Sinatra, the dude that just left the league to go play
Dude left
Valorant
the
full
league.
time.
Womp womp womp. Yo, of course, dude.
Whoop.
He's at the top of his game. He's just saying, why don't I just join Sentinels, i.e., with some of the biggest names in esports right now, the biggest young talent. It's insane.
Yeah.
I even think this was before they got Booga, which is insane too, man. Sentinels is stacked. Right. He's probably getting paid buku bucks. So he's like, oh, come back. We made this weird Men in Black alien for you. Sad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't put like little stink lines around this like character skin or something. Like PU, nobody wants this one.
Anyways, I feel like we're always talking about Overwatch, but Overwatch, I wish you well. I think it's good that you're making these changes. Do you guys have any last words on Overwatch?
No.
Nah. Okay.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We're still going to talk about Overwatch. You can't stop because May it was just lost in Heroes of the Storm, which, by the way, Eric, can you talk about your reaction to seeing this news?
I was happy that a new character came out for Heroes of the Storm. It's been a second. I mean,
it's a little surprising, right?
You can't call a game dead if they're releasing new characters in it, right?
Yeah, and it's an Overwatch character. What?
Yeah, well, that's crazy. But I don't know.
She's actually really good.
She looks annoying as fuck.
She is
playing against this thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I went to the YouTube to watch it on the YouTube link specifically, and it's like 4,000 likes, 1,000 dislikes.
Yeah, dude.
People are mad.
She's very strong. Well, do you know why people are mad, right? Look at this tweet.
A lot of people were saying, joking that she's a tank in this and she should be in Overwatch.
That's funny. Actually, you're right. That's a whole nother side of it.
That was kind of my problem too. Like, if you're gonna make her a tank, why not bring in like a tank from Overwatch? Like, I want Winston in the game so bad. That's like my main.
That'd be cool. Dude. That'd be cool. It's the same thing how they did it with what's her name? Zarya. I think Zarya is interesting in Overwatch because she's not really a tank in Overwatch though. Like, not at all. And maybe a bruiser, not really. But this is something I thought that was related to Heroes of the Storm that I loved. So, a Rich, which was literally one of like the best Heroes of the Storm players ever. He now plays for League of Legends because he has insane talent. But he says, I still read the patch notes of HOTS. It's like looking at the social media feed of an ex-girlfriend. Oh no, Rich! You loved Heroes of the Storm and Blizzard killed it.
Man, it's so sad.
How sad is that, man? It's like, that was some sad in truth. So I think the fact that they brought up May in Overwatch, some people are just like, is this game alive or dead, Blizzard? Why can't you support the esport? Why have you so much money? If it isn't apparent, me and Nick still play Heroes of the Storm. I love Heroes of the Storm. It's a great game.
You're the only two people playing it right now.
Yeah, we just play against each other.
It's just you two. That's it.
Bro, okay, honestly, the theories behind Heroes of the Storm as a dead game are so exaggerated. I think what people don't realize is like the playership is good. It's like it's stable. It's a stable game that people are increasingly getting better and better at. And I think that as I see a meta develop, I'm very impressed because players at the gold and the silver when this game first came out had no goddamn clue what to do because Blizzard made a spaghetti pasta monster MOBA that was so confusing and didn't look like a MOBA, and that's what created the horrible opinion of the game because those of us who did know how to win and how the game was played, we had no control. The games felt like a 1v4, you know?
I blame everything around the game, basically. It's like, by the time they were actually able to push it out, like, there was this huge push for Overwatch when that first came out, and that took away all their, marketing efforts and stuff, and then it was just, this snowball effect.
But I think as far as it being a dead game, there's still a community playing it, but I think it's just when you compare it to other MOBAs.
Oh, of course,
that I think it's more that.
Of course, and considering the fact that, as we all know, Blizzard once owned Dota. How do you mess up
Yeah,
so
I know.
badly, right?
Well, they didn't technically own it, and that's why they changed their rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, or which sucks actually. I'm actually pretty pissed at Blizzard about that. But like yeah, because like before was that if you made a community or if you made a game type
Yep.
in StarCraft and Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, you would own it.
Yep.
Because you made it. So yeah, that's where Dota was created. That's where tower defenses were created, which I love the tower defense genre, and that was from that.
It's where the Clash Royale, the whole Clash of a Clan genres. It's really a big
like there's
extension
so
of it
many
all.
genres that like birthed from that.
Yeah.
And now Blizzard's like doing the thing where like, oh, wait, no, because they realize how much money they missed out on.
Exactly.
So
and
But
now
it sucks.
people, and now we'll probably never see something of like that magnitude just because people don't want to put the effort into something that might just be like stolen away from them. And,
Right.
I think
Like there was a controversy when like the Overwatch added like their stage builder or like game creator thing because there was a clause in there that was like we own everything that you put together.
Yep.
Like we'll collaborate with you, sure, but like at the end of the day, we're completely this is 100% ours. So.
they did the
Right.
same thing with Warcraft
If there was at least like a
Reforged.
partial ownership thing, then it'd be like, oh, that's cool. But the fact they did 100%,
Yeah,
which
like,
I guess I'm sure it's for them for the lawsuits, but still, it's like, man, then I don't want to create on your thing.
So-
yeah, it would be crazy if like Epic said like anything made on Unreal Engine was just like theirs.
Why
to
would you
keep.
ever use
like,
Unreal Engine?
Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But.
and the big problem with it all is this is an extension of the same mistake they made with the original Dota and Ice Frog. Like how it's just so interesting when you look at the corporate structures of these big long companies. They're like great big trees, and you see one ring, it's just like the echo of that stupid decision is still happening. They're still suffering from it. Because, yes, if they had learned their lesson at all, they would have said, the next time we come across an ice frog, we're not going to squander it. We're going to support him and take care of him, and we're going to get him the fold, and he's going to willingly give us his game because we're going to hire him, and he's going to lead the whole project because, you dummies, he's making a game on your engine and your IP. He loves you. Why do you keep screwing him over?
We're going to change him.
Yes! Just support the people loving your IP enough to make a game around it.
Yeah.
And, I can't believe that Dota did the same thing with auto chess. They did the same thing with auto chess. And, actually, maybe I have to give it credit. Maybe Valve did reach out to the auto chess guys, but from my, understanding, they didn't. From my understanding, they didn't reach out.
I think that was the case. Like, they checked in with them. They were like, do you want to work with us? And ultimately, they chose to kind of go off and do their own thing.
Really?
But,
That's what they did? Well, thank you for that correction. Good for you, Valve. It's obviously there's some common sense there, but I did not know that. I think there's an interview with Drodo Studios somewhere around Inven Global. You can just do a Google search. Drodo Studios, Inven Global. You can see all about this story. Anyways, I swear to God, I promise I don't plan to just shit talk Blizzard. They're good. They're a good company, but
we always get there. Like, no matter how positive the news, we always go down this hole of like, well, it's actually like
when you love something, you want to see it succeed. That's it. That's it. I just want to see you succeed, Blizzard.
Yep.
That's all. Just trying to make.
I don't know. They stopped making the games I like.
Oh yeah, they lost you. It's done.
Well, because they don't make RTS games anymore, and that was what I loved about them. So.
Well, StarCraft is still
like,
there. StarCraft is still around. It's just pretty old, right?
It's still there 10 years ago.
It's pretty stale.
You didn't
When was
like
the
what
last
they
time
did
they
with
made a new one?
You didn't like what they did with World of Warcraft Reforged?
Well, that's not
Warcraft 3
RTS.
Reforged.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. I guess I'll have to look it up.
So I pitch it now.
It's bad.
I pitch it now. World of Warcraft, RTS, 2 races, Horde and Alliance. You both create an epic raid group of 40 versus 40. That's the max food. And each is like a mini hero. And then you clash. That's the game. And whoever wins the raid, they then can, kill the.
So it's not really an RTS. It's a new game type.
Well, no, it is an RTS, but the max limit is 40, and it's they're semi hero units.
But everyone's kind of a hero.
But semi-hero units,
right. So you don't really get base units.
You would, because I think there's for example, you start off with base units because some heroes are lower level. You start off with a bunch of peasants and stuff, and they're they're like soft capped at like level 20.
I mean, like, whatever, 40's fine. I don't know what the limit on StarCraft is 200, I think.
I'm essentially
I guess there has to be a
pitching
point.
for a new Warcraft game. This is what I'm pitching, right? I'd play that.
Right. I'm saying it's fine. Sure.
That'd be great. Anyways, let's get back on topic. Shit talking Blizzard. No, Blizzard bans thousands of World of Warcraft classic accounts for botting. This is a good story. It's just great. I'm happy to see it.
It's basically just this story that you see every time that's a company's like, oh, we just banned all these players, and it just goes, oh, they were bad boys, so we had to get rid of them, and it's basically just like this big number. So, I don't know. It's not all that interesting. Just Blizzard related. So
it's
for me,
always going to happen.
If they were farming and cheating, that affects everyone else. So fine, whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
And that's exactly what it is. Right. They say that real money trading drives these third parties, and Blizzard's defense is why they don't do something more about it. They say, listen, these companies, the only thing they want to do is sell gold. To us, we have so much other shit to do. So I could understand that. That would be pretty hard if one of your games was under attack by like very ambitious companies internationally trying to make money off it. That sounds difficult. All right, so good for you, Blizzard. If you know any bots, report them to Blizzard, I guess.
I think there's one, Nick Durazio.
Oh, I'm a bot, dude. I'm a botter. I actually have a system of Bitcoin, so it's gold to Bitcoin farming. So not only do all of my WoW botters play, but all of their computers are constantly farming Bitcoins. So.
Ooh, good call.
You know that exists. And you know these WoW botters play WoW Classic on the lowest possible difficulty, and they've been trained with very basics to help the computers if they ever get offline. Anyways. How much PAX is too much PAX, Eric?
9 days? Is that too much PAX?
What do you think, David? You've been to a lot of PAXs.
I've been to too many PAXs. That's too much PAX. I've been to like 10 or 11, 12 PAXs.
Jeez. 9 days of PAX. So that's the next story, by the way. Pax West is online.
Okay.
9 days.
So it's online only. That's the story. It's like because they're doing that since no one can go anywhere in person.
Yep.
I mean, like at the end of a 4-day PAX, that's how long Pax West normally was. I was done. But I don't know. Whatever. It's like, okay, is it going to be tournaments? I don't really know what it's going to look like. But I guess if it's tournaments, things like that, sure.
Event.
Yeah, and it also sounds like they're going to try to lump like all of the PAXs into this one like mega PAX kind of event too.
So this is crazy how this. Sorry, Eric. Online is a 9-day ordeal that runs 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah. No, this article is from Destructoid. I love how they have put all this sass into their articles. It's so good.
That's like an epic. That's like I was born on the first day of PAX, and then by day 8 I was a man.
I just don't know what it's gonna be. Like, okay, so what are they have like? Okay, here's the PAX Discord server, so people can hang out with other gamers virtually.
Yeah.
And here's like a tournament for this game and tournament for this game, all virtually, which you could do anyways before PAX. Because for me, part of PAX was like, okay, you go meet gamers that you know in person, or like that you play online with in person. That's fun.
Yeah.
There's games that you couldn't play at E3 until they just opened up E3. But like before, it was like, okay, the games you saw at E3, now you can play them. And that was exciting. And then they had in-person tournaments, and they had panels. So they can do two of those things, right? They can do panels, and they can do tournaments.
So, Eric, do you mind if I add some personal insight into this?
Please.
So I produce an online event. It's IGDC. I've been doing it. We've decided on 2 days. And I will say that I understand from a business perspective why they would choose to do a 9-day, 24 hours event. I understand it because if I had that much money and that much capital, which I'm sure PAX does, it's a really well-run organization. They got sponsors literally knocking down any door. And all of a sudden, they've been hit hardest by COVID. Now, those guys are smart. They pivot immediately. I am expecting PAX to be a real industry leader when it comes to seeing what is the virtual event? What is the virtual space? How easy is it for me to play games by your sponsors? How easy it is for me to click and all of a sudden I'm in a virtual PAX world? What's happening? Is this because the dream is it's Neopets online for 9 days. Like we literally get in and they've gamified it so much where I'm just running around PAX, getting points, to get free headphones at a thing, and I'm watching ads, I'm playing games, I'm writing reviews. There's so many ways in which you could access an international online audience. So
here's what I want.
Yeah.
I got a pitch for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's virtual reality.
Yep.
They make a virtual reality version of PAX where you put on your headset.
Yep.
And then you're just in a boring convention hall.
Yeah, you have to wait on all the lines.
Skins
and stuff.
that you're allowed to use are atypical nerd skins. So you can't be like a super attractive version of you or anything. It's just like the most typical nerd skin is all you're allowed to look like.
So real talk.
And then you just roam around a hall.
If it
and that's
was,
it.
If it
and go up escalators.
So if it was an open mic, to everyone there, and you could walk around a virtual place with actual cool booths and demos, would you play in that online arena and just walk around and talk to people?
If I have virtual reality, I mean, it sounds like it'd be fun.
So.
I mean, right? Isn't that the future? That'd be dope. I'd do it.
I feel like all that would look like, though, is me standing in my living room with my headset on, just taking one step forward every 20 minutes because I'm just waiting online.
Yeah, there's still the virtual lines are there too. So you have to stand in line.
I mean, listen, that's what happened. Actually, let me show you guys.
That's what most of PAX is.
Some pictures,
actually. That's the experience, baby. Yeah.
Let me show you guys some pictures to say that's not actually that off.
And then you get off of online, and you're only allowed to order really crappy food.
Yep.
Guys, let me show you.
That's overpriced.
Let me show you some images that happened when World of Warcraft Classic was launched. This is a gamer-made line to ensure that people get the quest item that they want.
The
Gamers
the Division
were quick.
The Division had something like this too when it first launched. Only one person could talk to an NPC at once, so they had to form a line so that everyone could
So guys,
it's insane.
Think about this. This could be fun if you could talk to people. If you were in line and you could it would be. No, guys, there was a type of this says that people miss this, and they would do anything to be a part of the hype, something hype. So I don't know. I understand it's a big thing, but I personally am excited about this because whoever says let's do a 9-day anything that lasts 24 hours, they're either insane or a genius. And I would love to see whatever happens.
I would get this if it was a fundraiser or something, it's going on 9 days, 24 hours. There's always going to be something going on, and we're, just trying to raise money. That gets a lot of buzz in and of itself, but...
I mean, they're trying to fundraise for the game industry.
I can't imagine their, concurrent viewers are going to be, stellar at all. I don't really get the point of going 24 hours on it.
So here's something, Eric, and this is the last thing I'll say because I could talk about this forever, right? Sure. You don't envision the numbers being big. When's the last time you saw a 9-day, 24-hour stream of anything?
Never.
So you have,
but
So
I feel like I would tune in for 20 minutes and be like, oh, there's not really anything going on.
But that's what everyone around the world will think, and you can always tune in at any time because it's 24 hours.
Oh, I wonder what's going on at 3 a.m. in the morning. Oh, nothing.
But cool. What about in Swedish time?
Yeah.
What about in the other time zones? Anyways, I just think it's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Yeah, let's see. We got
apparently it's a free thing. So.
Oh yes, that's the other thing. It's free. So come on, check it out.
I'll check it out.
Let's see. Our last topic before we have a quick outro. I forgot to mention. Look at this. Where's my little page here? Check out this. It's done this 4 times, and I'm still getting similar results. So these are people trying desperately to figure out.
Yeah.
Eric, can you talk us through this?
So basically people have been, trying to piece together how big the PlayStation 5 console is because there really wasn't anything to show to scale besides the controllers and everything. So people have been kind of piecing together what this looks like compared to other consoles.
Yeah.
And this thing is a behemoth,
it's massive,
apparently.
Dude.
You can just see it standing next to the new Xbox console, which is not a small console by any means. It's kind of, square and bulky, and people have been calling it a fridge, but look at how big this thing is. And with the irregular shape and stuff, Yeah, I don't know. This is a little off-putting.
So here's the
honestly.
Yeah, like if it's actually the size, like that's really disappointing.
Yeah. The other part of the story
If
was
it actually
like
is.
someone reached out to. I put it in the notes.
Yeah, so apparently someone reached out to the vice president of UX design at PlayStation, and they said this gen is little supercomputers, while the 7nm process delivers amazing heat performance for the power. The power is very extreme.
So yeah, basically he's like, it's too hot, man. It's the hottest console out there.
So he's
needs a size to contain it, all the power that we put into it.
What it sounds like he's saying is we needed a radical cooling solution, and we needed, and like the best way to cool off a computer is just increase the size of the house it lives in. Right?
I mean, I guess there was no way around it. If Sony's like,
I mean, like I get it, like I understand it. It's not like I'm mad. Like I get it. It's just kind of disappointing. It's just like, okay, well that's a shame because like I think about my space where I'm going to put it, and I'm like, man, like how am I going to fit it there? What am I going to do?
Yeah, like I have my PS4 and my Switch like side by side, and there's not a whole lot of wiggle room right now. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It just seems like cumbersome, and you know that like 3 years from now they're going to put out like the smaller version that like they were able to figure out the cooling and stuff like that.
Well, think about it though. Do you
slim.
think that they're also trying to sell to an esports gamer that wants a PC but wants to get the new console? Because a lot of people are saying this gen is all about winning over PC gamers who are already a little salty that they didn't get a Switch, or most of them have already bought a Switch.
I mean, the PC gamers that I know
would never
don't want to even touch a console. Yeah, like the hardcore boys.
Yeah, the hardcore boys are hardcore.
So maybe the prosumers though, right? No, but this is like maybe it's less common. So anyways, that's interesting. That is really big. I will say it's a little weird, but there is that silver lining.
In conclusion,
it's big. It's
a big boy.
Eric,
it's a big boy.
Eric, it's fucking big. I'm probably not going to put
dude.
one in my home.
Man, have you seen how big it is? It's crazy.
It's a little insane.
Just Sony wanted to be the biggest, you know.
I mean,
I gotta be the biggest in the room.
I will say there was reports that a lot of people, when they first saw it, they pulled that it was sexy and that it was attractive. So
Microsoft is going to put out a thing like introducing the Xbox extender, and it's just like a thing that you clip onto the top of your Xbox that makes it slightly bigger than the PlayStation 5.
Blacker Xbox to defeat the PlayStation. I mean, is this really what this podcast has devolved into?
And then Nintendo's going to just go smaller and smaller. They're going to be like
exactly.
Has this really
micro console?
This is what the podcast has devolved into. This is what we're talking about. So anyways, guys, let's wrap it up. I've had a fantastic podcast with you guys. Dave, thank you so much for being on. This was so fun, right?
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, this was our vacation. This is me and Eric's little like oasis to what is normally a very busy day. Do you guys have anything you're looking forward to next week? Any fun stuff? Any esports things?
Dave, I don't think we've talked about it before, but I'm in like Dark Souls now, so we can totally we can talk about it now. Yeah, I beat 3. I beat Bloodborne. I'm working my way through Remaster right now.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I actually just installed. I think it's called Cinders, the mod for Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And I really want to play through the whole game again just with that because I hear like it changes things up, and it makes it way better actually.
What did you prefer 3 or Bloodborne so far?
3, and I think that's an unpopular opinion from what I've seen, but
it is because you're wrong.
Yeah, and I played Bloodborne first too, so.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think Bloodborne's a hard starting point though. So it's a very hard starting point in the Souls games.
Dude, I mean, we will all be united when Demon Souls comes out for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that they have Demon Souls, and I'm sure. It'll probably be multi-platform for Elden Ring, but just the fact that they have Demon Souls again, I'm like, man, I gotta get PS5. That's it.
Yeah.
Is it an exclusive, or is it also going to be for PC?
I think it's going to come out on PC too.
For what? So. Are you talking which one?
The Demon Souls
no
remaster.
Way.
Really?
No way Demon Souls is coming out to PC.
You think that's exclusive?
Think so?
Sony owns the rights to it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's why it never came out past the PS3. It's like Dark Souls is a Bandai Namco property.
Sure, yeah.
Bloodborne and Demon Souls are Sony properties.
Okay, I didn't know that Demon Souls was also in the Sony.
I look forward to it even more than honestly. Yeah,
so there's no way it's coming to PC.
Damn it! I'm gonna get a PS5.
But Elden Ring will probably. I think Elden Ring. I don't know. Maybe who knows who it's gonna be because Sekiro was Activision. So
yeah.
Well, you know, in my family, we've had a long history of skipping a generation. I skipped.
Really?
I skipped the PS4. I skipped the PS. I skipped the Xbox X. So.
You really are a fake gamer.
I am a fake gamer. I'm a classic PC boy. I play my games.
Okay, you're a hardcore gamer boy.
Yeah.
Nah, just.
Dave, we were standing in line for at E3. And
Eric, that's all right, and that is the and that is the end of the. Say your story, Eric.
I was waiting to play the Silksong demo, and I was I was talking to this dude about the game and stuff, and Nick was like, "Yeah, isn't this like the sequel to Shovel Knight?" And we just both were like,
Listen,
fake gamer, dude.
But you know what though? Like at least that's like close enough,
right? Like you'd understand why I'd make the distinction, right? You'd understand why someone who's never played. I don't have time to play these games. I can only look outward.
Man, dude, Shovel Knight and Hollow Knight are two of the best games of the last generation.
Well, I haven't played them. Sorry, Inven Global is very busy.
You should be.
All right, I'm glad we ended with a shouting match. This is how we usually go. David, you came in as an elegant breath of fresh air, but we have gotten you down to our level. You're just one of us now. And
hey, I scream all day long, so you think I'm in the top level, but I'm not. I just scream all day. I'm gonna go outside and just start screaming.
Hey, well, in that case, let me start screaming too. You can find more of our Inven Global guys. Did you like that segue? Not bad.
That's great.
You can find more of our Inven Global content at invenglobal.com. You can check us out on Twitter at Inven Global. You can follow me and all my stuff at NickDurazio3RD. If you are looking to get into the esports industry or just want some advice, check out my Twitter. I made a huge rant thread. You should definitely reach out. You can follow the Dave Klein at the Dave Klein. Dave, what kind of stuff can people expect on your social media?
They can expect me to not post that frequently on my social media, but they can go to Dave Control, my YouTube channel, also not expect me to post that frequently. But when I do, it's going to be good. And hopefully I'll have an FF7 remake video that'll take me a couple 100 hours done by next Sunday or Monday, I hope.
You know what they say, quality over quantity.
Yeah. But I'm working on another big video. It should be out soon. So
that sounds fantastic. Well, and you know, if you could just do me one favor, David, I tweeted out something to Eric, and I'm calling upon everyone who sees it to tweet at Eric that he needs to start creating content based on his rankings and reviews of games. So listen, I can't get Eric to do this, so we need to cyber bully him into creating content for the site, please. So if you could retweet
that's how I live my life.
Yeah, if you could retweet
I'm all about
that.
Cyberbullying. Let's do it.
Yep. So
I mean, the real thing that's keeping me out is I don't want people to know how truly garbage my opinions are. So that's really how it is.
Sorry, buddy. Well, I'm in the business of letting everyone know how garbage you are.
Cool. Nice.
Which is, I guess, that's a tough thing. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later, I guess. This has been Nick Durazio. And, you can also check out the Inven Global Esports Conference that's going on. When is that going on?
June 30th and July 1st.
Yeah, you can check all that out.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right, this has been Nick Durazio with Winco Stainless, a.k.a. Eric Gindele, and the Dave Klein, or Dave Control. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.